Hey guys, Alex here from alexfergus.com, and today I'm reviewing the Woodyknows mouth strips. Now, I've been testing these for a week or two now, wearing them every night while I go to sleep, of course, and seeing how they impact my mouth breathing. Actually, that wasn't a good demonstration of how you put it on, because it does take a little bit of precision to get these on properly, which I'll be talking about soon. But in this video, what I'm going to be doing is applying my 5-round scorecard to these mouth strips. I've been doing this for a couple of months now. I've tested all sorts of mouth strips using this particular scoring system, and hopefully if you're looking for some mouth strips to use at night to help you nose breathe instead of mouth breathe, then these videos are going to be useful. So before we get into the scoring rounds, what do you need to know about the Woodyknows mouth strips? Well, you can get these from Woodyknows.com. Well, at least I thought you could, because just prior to recording this video, I went over to the website for some more information and prices, and the website seems to be down, and I checked on a few devices, so that was a bit of a bummer. You can also get them on Amazon, though again, I went to Amazon and they're currently out of stock. So yeah, hopefully you can still get them, but as of right now, you potentially can't. But anyway, I got these a few weeks ago. I got a couple of packs so I could experiment with them. They come 24 coming in a pack, and these are actually the extra strength version. On Amazon, for instance, you can see the base one and then extra strength. The packaging has a very slight difference, but the extra strength are meant to stick a little bit better. So as you can see on the pack, it says instant nose breathing, snoring relief, drug-free, Woodyknows, breathe easy, sleep easy. And on the back it shows a little bit about mouth breathing versus nose breathing, which it's kind of interesting having that on the pack. And the key features of the mouth strip, a few caution materials, and how it uses hypoallergenic adhesive, which is good. I personally react to most adhesives, and so it's something I'm always nervous about, and I haven't had any issues with this in the various nights I've been using it, so that is good. The strip itself, you get 24 in a pack. They come on these little sheets of paper here. You simply peel it off and away you go. Now, as you'll see, the strip, first I thought it was just symmetrical, but one side is rounded, the other side is squared, and it goes on that way with the rounded side at the bottom. But what's really interesting, you see, when I saw this, I thought, that's a really good idea. Covers a bit of the mouth, but it leaves you some space on the side for breathing, but you got all the extra adhesive on the top, because typically, well, no, that's not true. What I was going to say is typically mouth strips are just over the lips, but that's not true. I've reviewed 5, 6 different strips now, and yeah, some are just over the lips, some are over top like this, some actually go around the lips, but I thought this was a good concept, because the key thing is you don't want something that blocks off your lips and mouth completely so you can't talk or breathe, in case you choke or something, or whatever. You just need to get it off in a hurry. If it's a complete seal with no tabs on the side, that can be tricky. So I thought this was going to be good. So what's interesting, when you look at it here, you see the sticky ends where my finger is, but in the middle, that part doesn't stick. So I was kind of surprised by that at first. I was like, I didn't expect that. In fact, I thought maybe it was a mistake, and I tried to peel it off, but no. Once you get the instruction manual out, you soon realize that that is not a flaw, it is a feature, it is a design feature. So that is the adhesive-free lip section, and that of course goes over your lips, like so. Not very good there, but hey. So round 1, we have the stickability round. How well do they stick? Do they stay on all night? If you happen to take them off, to have a glass of water, can you put them back on? Can you potentially use them multiple nights? For this round, I give them a 4 out of 5. So yeah, they actually stick really good. And I have taken them off and put them back on. Even now, playing around with this one as I'm recording, you can hear how sticky it is, and it remains quite sticky. So there's no issues there. That is really good. Remember, this is the extra strength one. The problem is, though, the reason why I didn't give it a 5 is because due to the design and the shape, it doesn't go on the lips. It goes on the top here and down the bottom here, right? Now, that goes straight on my, you know, on my moustache, on my beard. If you've got any facial hair, it goes right on it, directly on it. And that caused some issues. You're not getting a good clean stick, like a seal. Like it's I don't know, it's like you're putting some sellotape on sandpaper, right? It's not going to stick as well as it would on a smooth surface. And the funny thing is, when you look in the manual, it actually says, shave your moustache and beard before applying. Wash and dry skin around your mouth. Dirt, oil, moustache, beard, hair, moisturizer, and makeup will weaken the adhesive. And I'm like, well, no, I'm not going to shave my beard or moustache. Like, hey, this is what I just, no, I don't want to do that. So, yeah, that was a bit of a bummer, because that is the problem. You put it on, I'll put it on my top lip so I can still talk. And it's alright, but it's not a super sticky seal as if I say put it on my cheek. Like, you see how good that seal is. And then of course down here as well. I don't have too much hair down there, but there's a little bit, and it's just enough to make it, well, that wasn't too bad, but it just throws it off, right? And I have noticed that a few times wearing it at night. One side may come off, like typically the top side, obviously that's where I have more hair. Next up we look at safety. Is it safe to use? Does it have any toxic materials? Can you remove it in a hurry? Are there any other risks of choking or anything like that? For this section I'm giving it 4, and overall I think it's pretty good, because yes, once it is on, you can breathe off the side of the mouth. That is good. You can talk if you need to, so communicate, yell out, whatever, you can do that. Getting it off is okay. Some are quite tricky because there's nothing to grab and they seal really tightly. I think for me, because of the facial hair, it's quite easy to pull some point, you know, find a high point. So that is all good. However, again, when we go back to the manual, instruction booklet, sorry, to remove, take 2 corners of one side at the same time. Horizontally, remove the strip from one side to the other. Do not remove it vertically or just from one single corner. Always remove the strip slowly and carefully to avoid skin damage. So, it's like, Jesus, it's quite technical for just taking off a strip. I'll show you what you're meant to do. This is what you're meant to do. Grab both top and bottom, pull to the side. Of course, I don't think I've ever done that. You know, you wake up in the night or you wake up in the morning, you're not fiddling it, you're just gonna find a bit and pull. And yes, it does hurt because it's going on my hair, and there's been a few times I'm like, oh, they've just pulled out of here. So that's a little bit concerning. If that's the proper way to pull it off, to avoid skin damage and all that sort of jazz, it's a bit fiddly, right? Like, where is it? Okay, pull it off, boom. I don't know, it's just a bit, yeah, could be better. And secondly, because you know, or at least for me, I know I'm probably going to rip out a hair and it's going to hurt a little bit. There's a bit of hesitation there. So if you're waking up and you need to get it off in a hurry, those aspects play into your mind, which may slow the removal process down. But it does allow you to do a little bit of mouth breathing if need be. Like if your nose is blocked, you can still take a bit of air through the side. You can talk through it, so that is good as well. Okay, the big one, practicality. Does it work? Does it stop you from breathing through your mouth? Now, I have to say, I'm gutted. I really am gutted. I thought this was going to be awesome. I honestly thought it was going to be the perfect strip when I saw it, and you know how it's being designed and that. But yeah, it's not. I'm still waking up with the dry mouth, the headaches, you know, just knowing that I've been mouth breathing after wearing the strip. Not all the time. It's not useless. It is doing something. But there's a couple of things here that I need to cover. Firstly, because of the facial hair and because I'm not following the rules and recommendations, I'm not getting a good seal and a good fit, right? And sometimes it comes off as a result of that. So that is one issue. And that could be why I'm still sometimes, you know, mouth breathing with this. The second thing is I think I do have quite an extreme case of mouth breathing. I've mentioned this in other reviews. I've been mouth taping for years now, and a lot of people eventually can stop using it because their body retrains the way they breathe through the nose. That doesn't seem to be the case for me. So I need something that's, you know, really going to do its job. Which is why I think with this, like there is some improvement, but not a perfect improvement. So that's a bit of a bummer. The other reason is you have to get a real good fit with your lips. Now, the first time I put it on, I didn't check the booklet or manual, and I just put it on, right? Like, shut my lips. And that was that. And as you can see, I can still open my mouth a bit. Now there's no adhesive through here, so all you're doing is you've got this soft space here where you can move around. But you can't open the jaw, and hence the mouth and the tongue and all that is sort of locked in there, right? All good. But that just wasn't good enough. There was enough of an opening that I could still breathe through the mouth. And that's why I was like, oh, this sucks. So that's when I referred to the booklet and saw, okay, no, well, actually, to put it on, what you're meant to do is to apply. Close your lips, place the strip across the center of your mouth, gently press both ends to stick the strip. Don't worry if there is still a tiny gap between the lips. This will not cause mouth breathing anymore. So in the photo, it says you're not meant to do it with big lips, like this. You're meant to do it with small lips, like this. Now I'm not too sure if it's like that or just, I'm doing the same thing now, aren't I? Closing them tight. Anyway, what I do is I just try and do this. Now, as you can see, as I talk, it's pulling it off. But as you can see, what happened is the opening between my lips was a lot smaller, right? So once I started doing that, I was like, ah, I found it, I've cracked it. The problem is, getting it on like that, without a mirror, like I'm using the camera screen, the mirror here to help me put it on. It's a bit tricky, and sometimes you don't get a good fit, like it's a little bit too high, a little bit too low. It's almost like you need to put it on in the bathroom in front of the mirror and then go to bed. But I don't do that. I don't have an ensuite in my room or anything, in my bedroom. You know, I put this on right before I go to sleep. I might be reading. I don't use these when I'm reading or anything. Of course, if I'm talking to my wife or something, I'm not putting them on. It's right before I go to sleep, I put it on. So sometimes I'm doing it in the dark, like I reach over and put it on. So it's tricky to get a good fit unless you've got that feedback, right? And even with that sealed lip, it's still sometimes popping off, or still sometimes I'm somehow breathing through the mouth. And I think again that is because of the facial hair and all that going on. I wonder though, like, if this was sticky, the middle bit over the lips, if it was all adhesive, maybe it'd be so much better. Like maybe there'd be more stickiness there, there'd be more surface area to stick. Maybe my lips wouldn't open. And I think they do that so you can open up your mouth a little bit and talk out the sides and breathe if need be. But with this shape, if I put it on the other way, even if it was sticky, you'd still have those little corners off to the side. So if you watch my video on how I use the Band-Aid hypoallergenic, just paper tape as a mouth taping product, that's how I recommend it. Like just that width there in the middle. So it would just be, you know, like yay big. Stuck on like that, and that looks good. In fact, it works really good because you've still got a little vent on the side you can breathe. You can peel it off real quick if need be. For those reasons, I'm giving it a 3 out of 5. Alright, next up we have price. So one of these packs cost me $17, alright, for a pack of 24. So that works out to be just over 70 cents each, which means I give it a score of 3 out of 5. Not ideal. Some products we've tested have been, 20, 30 cents a night. 70 cents is up there. In fact, when I was on Amazon, just before looking for the price on there, I saw some of the comments, you know, hey, it was a great product, or various issues or whatnot, but a few people did allude to the price being a little bit higher. So 70 cents is up there. You probably could reuse these, you know, a couple times, or maybe 2 nights in a row. I think it would work 2 nights in a row, so that would bring the price down, of course. But still, you know, it is a little bit higher. I couldn't tell if there were any discounted price if you did bulk orders, because again, the Woodyknows website was crashing on me, so that was a bummer. Alright, last up we have everything else. Here I talk about appearance, are they travel friendly, how difficult it is to apply, etc. So first things, appearance wise, it doesn't look too bad. You know, skin color, skin tone, it's not a weird shape or anything like that. I mean, hey, these are always weird. Any sort of mouth strip is weird, but it's not super weird. So yeah, it's pretty good in that regards. Ease of application. There's harder ones, harder mouth strips to apply, but there's a lot easier ones as well. So, like I said, you really need a mirror or some form of feedback to get it all nice and symmetrical, or at least I do with my facial hair. Mess, well, yeah, there is a bit of mess. I mean, each strip has a big bit of paper. After a few nights, unless you have a little rubbish bin beside you and you're not cleaning it up every morning, you might end up with a few of these sheets of paper on the ground, and it's a bit messy, but it's not as bad as some others. Can you talk with them? Yeah, let me show you. See, I didn't get a good fit there, did I? But as you can see, there is a way you can talk through it. It's not amazing, but it's better than some. And finally, what's it like to travel with these? Hey, yeah, it's all good. You just chuck a couple of these in your bag and away you go. In fact, even the box of 20, it's a nice small box. So just order a couple of them, leave one in your overnight bag, leave one in your bedside table, one in your suitcase, whatever, and yeah, you're good to go. So for this final round, I'm actually giving it a 4 out of 5 for the everything else round. So overall, that brings the total score up to 18 out of 25. It's about mid-pack from the reviews I've done so far. About mid-pack. There are better, there are worse. I think though, if you didn't have facial hair, these may be really, really good. But it's hard to say. You have to try it. I mean, for 20 odd bucks, whatever, just buy a pack and give it a go. If it works wonders, great. If not, check out my other reviews and try one of the other products. Speaking of which, if you have liked this video, give me a like or a thumbs up. If you are interested in finding the best mouth taping product for you, do check out my mouth taping playlist, as I've got 4 or 5, maybe 6 videos up there now. And be sure to subscribe, because what I'll be doing is a big comparison video, comparing all these products in one big video to help you find the best product for you. Alright guys, I'm going to leave it there. I'll be back soon with another mouth taping review. Another one just arrived at yesterday, I think it was. So I'll be testing that over the coming weeks and be uploading my experiences with that soon as well. Talk to you soon. Bye.